Hello and welcome back to Hannah's Inner Healing channel, the channel dedicated to your inner healing and mental health. So today I'm going to use a whiteboard to just demonstrate what I want to teach and the topic that is at hand today. Again, my name is Hannah Jerry. I have a background in, I have a master's in divinity. I have a degree in sociology and politics and a certificate in trauma counseling. So today I want to talk about how relating with a narcissist can cause split personality or a split mind in a normal human being. There are so many health implications that are gotten by relating when you relate with a narcissist. So today we just want to see what are some of those implications as you relate with a narcissist. So the first one, you find that I want to start explaining with a diagram. So this is the narcissist brain, this is you. And for those who don't know who a narcissist is, I've done previous videos about a narcissist. A narcissist is an individual who was broken as a child, who was hurt as a child, but now instead of them healing or progressing in life, they remained as the shriveled child, and then they developed a shell to protect their inner child or the self. And so the self is eroded because it's shielded by a shell, so nobody can be able to access that inner child. And that's why it's hard for a narcissist to heal, it's hard for a narcissist to grow, it's hard for a narcissist to develop, because there's that shell they have placed around them that they cannot be held. So there are many types of narcissists, but we will focus on two: the covert narcissist and the malignant narcissist. The covert narcissist, and a narcissist, they are there to exploit. They have no empathy, and a narcissist is there, for their own gratification. So when they are relating with you, they see you as an object. They don't see you as a person. And you will see why when I explain. They see you as an object to fulfill, because deep inside of them is a dark hole. It's a dark hole that they try to fill with supply. So now you become the object, and they are trying to fill with supply. Another thing is, when you come to a narcissist, situation, they want you to play roles. There are roles that they want you to play. And so the roles they might give you depends with what the kind of supply the narcissist is looking for. And then the narcissist also, when in a narcissistic home or in a home where there is abuse, there are two types of personality, or there are two types of children or people that come out from those environments. There is the narcissist and there are the codependents. The narcissist now is the one that I explained, a child who grew up, or a person who their self was shielded by a shell. So you cannot be able to penetrate them. And then the codependent is the child, maybe you can find that was the scapegoat child. Most narcissists were actually the golden child, but not in all cases. The scapegoat child now becomes a codependent, and we'll talk more about codependency. So for this video, I want to explain how the narcissist now causes you to have a split personality, and what happens to you when you move away from the narcissist, and why it's hard to break away from the narcissist more than any other normal person, and why it's very painful. So now, when a narcissist sees you, they see you as supply, like we said. And there's a role they already have of you in their mind that you're going to play. And then, so now when they see you, this is the narcissist, this is you. As you start relating with the narcissist, because there's going to be a soul tie or a bond that's going to be formed, the narcissist starts colonizing your mind. So the narcissist, whatever the narcissist has, like insecurities, if the narcissist was insecure, if the narcissist is jealous, because most of the time, narcissists actually, they are negative polarity, meaning they are people who are broken and negative. So they normally have to look for external things to validate them. They have to look for external things to try and make themselves happy. They cannot self-regulate as a normal human being. So when the narcissist starts relating with you, they start colonizing your mind. How? They take over you. It's like they colonize you. They want to take control, because they are beings, or human beings, who would feel good when they are in charge. They feel they are controlling others passively or aggressively, and they also feel good when they feel like there are people under them. So they want to be like parasites. They are in your life. So they come, instead of having mutual affection, mutual love, they want to be to dominate you. Even the covert narcissist, though she'll do it passively. So what happens is the narcissist wants to. The first stage is the love bombing stage. The narcissist will be good to you, and it's not just in romantic relationships. Even in friendships, they'll start being good to you. Maybe it's that co-worker who wants to start buying you lunch. They want to bring you lunch from home. So it starts just like a normal friendship, And then later on, after the love bombing stage, comes the devaluation stage, where they start devaluing you or giving you backhanded comments or just looking down on you, criticizing you and all that. And then later they want to discard you. So it happens in both relationships. So what happens is, once now they come into your life, they want to start telling you things. They want to be the ones to tell you what is good for you. They want to manipulate you. They want you to take their ideas. The covert narcissist does this passively, where they'll be looking for supply from you, but in passive ways, but they still want to control your life. Manipulation. Oh, you don't like to come and see your mom. Well, you tell her, Mom, but I'm busy. I'm doing this. Oh, you've broken my heart. So manipulations, they are still controlling you, but with passivity. They are, let's say, if you are dating a man or a woman who, let's say the woman is covert narcissist, so she'll manipulate the man like, oh, you don't love me, that's why you're not doing this to me. Everything about them is manipulation for narcissists. For the overt or malignant narcissist, they're aggressive and they will try and dominate you. For the covert narcissist, they're passive. Like, let me give an example. There's a neighbor lady I had, and I've talked about her in several of my videos because she's the classic example of a covert narcissist. And I remember there's a time I said no to her for something during the day because she was trying. I had started noticing she's not okay mentally, but I realized later she was a covert narcissist. So I told her, she asked me for something, I said no. So because what they do, I know narcissists hate the word no. I know for them is like you're rejecting them. So when I said no, in the evening, she knew we were sharing a wall. That time I was living in a house where they had thin walls. I thank God for my new house. But that time we were sharing a very thin wall. So she knew that the wall was thin. So what she did when I told her no during the day, she carried the aggression in her spirit. In the evening, she started banging doors, laughing hysterically to just punish you. So they normally are geared towards punishing you and making you feel bad. So you might, let's say, for example, your mom, the covert mother says, oh, maybe let's say your name is Philip. Oh, Philip, come for the weekend. You refuse. And then the covert narcissist will just keep quiet. So when one time you're in a family gathering or something, she blows up on you, or she hinders you to do something, or she mistreats you, because they are based on punishments. They punish you. The malignant narcissist will be so overt in their punishments because they won't hide. They can slap you, they can beat you, but the covert narcissist has to try to look for passive ways to punish you. Okay, so now when you meet the narcissist, this is you. Your mind is you're a human being. You're an adult. You're okay. So the narcissist, now when the narcissist begin to devalue you, they start criticizing you. This is someone who used to say good things about you in the love bombing stage. This is someone who used to praise you. Now they are here criticizing you. Now they are here making you feel bad about yourself. Now they are here, talking down to you as if you're a child. It could be a boss, it could be a lover, whoever. So now your mind, because it has been colonized, you are now feeling like, oh gosh, things have shifted now. They're in the devaluation stage. So you really don't know what to do, but now you're still in a relationship with them. So maybe you start trying to do things their way. Maybe they tell you, don't do this like that. Do you think things their way? Now, because they have also colonized your mind, you start to think things their way. You start to behave the way they want you to behave. They want you to be quiet. They want you to be, submissive. So they will start forcing that on you. So when, let's say, it becomes too much for you, and they have already inculcated their ways in your mind. So you feel like their ways of doing things are better. Their voice is already in your mind. So even if you separate from them physically and you go away, Your mind, because it has been colonized, you will still be hearing the narcissist in your mind. If they were treating you as if you're a child, you will start feeling as if you're a child yourself. Because most narcissists also, Dr. Sam Vakin, I was listening to him, he said, when the narcissist, if he had a bad relationship for the man or for the lady with the mother, or the lady the father, so when you come into their life, you become like they modify you. So now they have the relationship they had with their mom when they were young, they start acting that with you as an adult. So they would want you to be like a mother to them. And not only that, but the bad feelings they had towards their mom starts now manifesting and being projected to you. So now the devaluation comes when they start saying, oh, you're stupid, oh, you're this, because the bad feelings they have with their mom, they are now transferring to you or with their dad, and they start mistreating you. So now when you are gone, and now you're that role you're playing as a mother, and sometimes a narcissist, it will go back and forth, would also want you to play first of all, you can be playing the role of a mother or a father, but there are times they will want to parentify you, and at times they want to infantilize you, to make you feel as a child. So when you go, you're this grown-up person, you start feeling as if you're a child. You start feeling you're stupid. So even if you start going to, and I agree with Professor Sam Vakin that if you start this other intervention, like going for counseling, maybe working on the inner child, before you decolonize your mind, or you separate your mind, or you suppress the narcissistic voice, healing is not possible. So you just have not only to separate from them physically, but you also have to separate from them mentally, so that you can be free. So that voice, it will have a critical, judgmental, harsh spirit. It berates you, it belittles you, because it's a negative voice. You see, the narcissist, it's a negative polarity, so there's nothing positive about them. They're always negative. So the voice that you will hear in your mind is a demonic voice from the narcissist, will be this one, to criticize you, judge you. It's never positive. So what happens, I want to explain about the octopus. The octopus, the animal, how this spirit in them works. So it's just Jezebel's spirit, but other demons too that are involved in this. The octopus, once it gets its prey, and the prey wants to get away, it releases a poison like an ink in the prey. So it's like now the narcissist has released a poisonous ink in your mind. So you become defiled, you become intruded upon, and you've become actually colonized. You've become hijacked, or mentally raped, or emotionally raped, and then now yourself has been eroded. So yourself has been intruded upon. So the self is here. This is self, but over the self, this is the narcissistic personality, or the narcissistic dynamic that is squeezing the self. So you've been subdued. So for me, the next video I'll teach you how to separate yourself, or how the methods that helped me, because I have related with narcissists along the way, and this I had to do it practically. I came to realize much later on, after I'd gone through other interventions, but this is what helped me to set myself free from that. So when you leave the narcissist, what happens is you can go into drugs, alcohol, and weird relationship. You can be schizophrenic in your mind. You can have wrong choices, confusion. Why? Because of the mental fog you've been intruded upon. This is actually called the mental fog. This process here, it's the mental fog. Your mind has been intruded. So that's why you cannot remember things clearly. So I've done a video on how narcissistic abuse affects your mind. Please go down and watch it, and you'll understand about the mental fog and what happens to you, to your mind after you from a narcissistic abuse. So now you go through the emotions. You're not yourself anymore. The self is not there anymore. You don't feel like yourself anymore. You're someone. You've become someone else because of this exchange. So there's another dynamic I also want to explain. You see, the narcissist is because of their They don't even have a self. But because of the demonic spirit in them, they can act as the bully or the victim. So as the bully, sometimes this person can come and become very aggressive with you, come and want to dominate you and talk down to you and rubbish you. But at the same time, they'll be crying like a child. They'll be acting like a child, because what happens, the narcissist, deep inside the narcissist, is a small child. It's the child who was wounded. When as a child they were wounded, so they never developed. So they are like a child. That's why their behaviors are childish. Like the neighbor I had, she was in her late 50s, but she used to act very childish. Her punishments, like let's say you say something, you're not talking to her, you ignore her. A narcissist hates being ignored. She will start singing loudly, and maybe you're working during the day, she'll start singing loudly from nowhere. Just childish behaviors that you wouldn't expect in an adult. And so especially covert narcissists, what happens with them, they normally have weird behaviors or childish behaviors that elicit aggression from others. So what this individual will always be receiving from people who come in close contact with them is aggression because of their character, their low self-esteem. That's why they behave like that. And if you don't know, you can be caught up in their dynamics. So for me, what I did when I realized what I was dealing with, I just moved, from that environment. And if you can be able to cut off from that person, fine. If you can be able to cut off and co-parent, that's also okay, because you cannot live with a narcissist and be healthy because of all these dynamics I'm talking about. And then, so there can be so that's why now in your mind, why the schizophrenia attitude, the schizophrenia, dynamic can come to you, because at one time they are the bully, at one time they are the victim. It confuses you as a person. And that's why you can have a split personality, because you are the one who is going to develop the duality. For them, it's their thing. They can appear as a child, they can appear as the bully. But you, because you're trying to relate with them as a child, at this time again it's a bully, it confuses you and you develop a split personality disorder. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about, to share some of the characteristics for you to know if you have a split mindset, because the Bible says a person of a double mind does not achieve anything. So you need to heal for you to develop, to grow. You cannot grow with such a mentality. And I'll also teach you how to heal and detach yourself from being colonized by the narcissist. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. And and I hope this information is useful. You can also share with us, maybe in the comment section, about your experiences with the narcissist or how you find these videos. Thank you for watching.